Gone are the days where I bite my tongue because I'm going to be called a racist or a conspiracy theorist or a homophobe, because that's going to happen anyway. I'm a Republican. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in history. So I'm going to be a racist in your opinion, right? Doesn't make me one. You could call me a table. It doesn't make me a table. It just makes you wrong and a moron for saying I'm a table, just like it makes you wrong and a moron for saying that I'm racist. You want to hear something that's racist? Our vice president was chosen because of the color of her skin and her gender. That's literally the definition of racism. So now we have a scenario where there's this racial frenzy. Everybody's like, oh, everybody's racist. Half the country is racist against the other half. We must act now and eliminate it. So we have jackasses cropping up like Ibram X. Kendi, I think, right? That's his name, Ibram X. Kendi. He writes a book on racism, how to nip it in the bud, right? Well, he's not smart enough to think that, hey, I wrote a book on racism. Maybe I should figure out what the hell racism actually is. He didn't do it. So when he gave a conference on his book, some genius reporter said, hey, what's racism? How do you define it? And he says, racism, because it is a collection of racist thoughts and racist ideas and racist motives in a collectively racist society. And everybody's like, wait, what? And he's like, you can see this guy. He's like, yeah, I know y'all are stupid, so I'll slow down. He said, racism is racism perpetuated by racist stuff that is accompanied by racist stuff, and it might even have a racist tag on it describing it as racist. So you should be able to identify it as racist. Whew! I mean, people go for this. You know what that guy did? He said, I see an opportunity here. People are scared of racism. We need to fix it. I'm going to capitalize on it. I'm going to use people's fear, write a book on racism, even though I don't know what the hell racism is. I'm going to sell a lot of copies, buy myself a house, a car, some really nice Gucci loafers, some good jewelry. Yeah, that's what he did. He used you and victimized you, the minorities, and also the dumbass kids out there who think they're fighting some noble social justice cause, the ones with pink hair and the metal crap sticking out of their face that live in mom and dad's basement. Yeah, those are the ones. You use people based on the color of their skin and telling them that you have the key to ending racism. But in the book, you admitted that you were racist against white people, that white people are the devil. You, Ibram Kendi, are racist. Al Sharpton, you're racist. Joe Biden, you're racist. Hunter Biden, you're racist. Ilhan Omar, AOC, Bernie Sanders, y'all are racist, anti-Semites. Oh, and now, since everybody's so afraid to say the obvious and ask questions, because we're going to be deplatformed. Ooh, deplatformed. Go ahead, I don't care. We don't state the obvious or ask obviously reasonable questions like, we have millions of buildings in America. I've never seen one fall by accident. But I haven't heard one person ask why that building fell by accident. The one in Surfside, Florida. I haven't heard one person say it seems suspicious. I haven't heard one person say, the average person's on camera 72 times a day, yet there's only like a couple recordings at best of that building going down. Why? If I'm on camera, you'd assume a building that's huge would be on film a lot more, right? I know it's mobile. You can pose that argument. It's still, we should have a lot more footage than we do. And then they go and demo the rest of it. Why? Now, I'm not saying one way or another that it was intentional or unintentional. What I'm saying is that it's ridiculous that no one's asking why. Why did they demo the rest of it? Is it because when they find explosive residue and they do their forensic exams, they're going to say, oh, well, it's because we demoed half the building, you idiots. Of course there's explosive residue. Are they trying to cover something up? Has anybody considered the fact that it's really weird that we live in this very anti-Semitic climate and 1/3 or more of that building consisted of Israeli foreign nationals? Has anybody considered lately that this country is not systemically racist? We have black Olympic athletes competing on our behalf. We have black presidents, black vice presidents, black athletes who suck at throwing footballs but still make money because they take a knee during the national anthem, although they play for the National Football League. You can't have the National Football League without the national anthem and the nation and the country that you are kneeling in. Men and women fight and bleed and die for your right to take that knee, and I'll even support it. But I'm going to reserve my right to call you a dumbass for doing it. I'm going to support my right to call you a dumbass for throwing some athlete activist shirt over your face and turning your back on the anthem and the flag of the very country that you represent. You're a hypocrite and a lousy athlete. You're throwing a temper tantrum because you didn't come in first. The real patriots are the women that ran proudly with their nation's flag wrapped around their shoulders, as per tradition. I'm done not asking why. I'm done not making these suggestions because I find it mighty strange that we have so many buildings in this country that don't simply just fall over. 9/11 they fell over because planes crashed into the buildings, the World Trade Center Tower 1 and 2, and the Pentagon. Let's not also forget about the field in Pennsylvania and the men and women and children that died on that plane because heroes stopped those sack of shit terrorists from flying that plane into the White House. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't have my suspicions about that building that just mysteriously fell. If you took every skyscraper on the coast right now and left it alone for the next 100 years, I doubt a single one would fall. And I challenge you, if you want to argue with me on this point, to find me one video of a building that accidentally fell. And I'm not talking about a damn pole barn or some shed. Or I'm not talking about one of those videos in the old Soviet bloc where some dumbass hits a brick column and the damn building comes falling down because he hit a brick column with a sledgehammer. And it was an old building. It doesn't just happen like that. It seems odd. But again, the more concerning part is the fact that no one's asking about it. Everyone's concerned about their careers in media or politics to ask why and be, God forbid, labeled a racist or a conspiracy theorist. I subscribe to none of the conspiracy theorists. I subscribe to reality, logic, and fact. And I think it's very, very unrealistic that we don't ask why that building fell and if it's a little bit weird. So I'm Jason Mariner. I'm going to fight back against this crap until I'm either dead or successful in my efforts, because if I don't, we will lose this country and our children will die very, very bloody deaths, because communism has killed more people than anything in the history of mankind. If y'all were real activists, you'd be complaining about the slavery that's happening right now in Libya. You'd be complaining about the concentration camps in China. You'd be complaining that China puts the men in concentration camps so they can rape the Muslim gene out of the women. You'd be complaining about the fact that Kaepernick kneels and is sponsored by Nike, and Nike uses slave labor from China. But he's an activist, right? That company, like Facebook and Amazon, all they want to do is sell you crap from China? Yeah. That's the problem. That's hypocrisy. LGBTQ members, they get thrown off of buildings for being gay in places like Saudi Arabia. Why aren't y'all talking about that? Instead of men showering the girls' locker room. Why aren't y'all talking about the fact that people fall 25 stories to their death for being gay in those countries? That's perfectly fine, but y'all need to throw a hissy fit about men competing in women's sports. It's ridiculous. You stand for nothing but hypocrisy, chaos, division. Get out of America if you don't like the way things are done here. That's how they go. That's how we're going to keep them, and we're here to make sure it stays that way. Again, my name is Jason Mariner. I'm your host here at Real Republican News, and I will not stop until we have our rights back. God bless you, your families, and God bless America.